for a talk on the Manuscript treasures of India, repository of our heritage, by our Honorable Member Secretary from IGNCA, Professor Sachchidanand Joshi. This program is being conducted by IGNCA Legal Center Boroda in collaboration with the Oriental Institute, MSU, as well as the Faculty of Home Science, Family and Community Sciences. To begin our program, may I request everyone to kindly rise so that we can begin the program with the university song.
सपना सारवनारा हमें ज्योत जलावी सृष्टिनावली सहसा सर्जनहारा हमें वडोदराना विद्यापीठना सपना सारवनारा हमें ज्योत जलावी सृष्टिनावली अगनबात हमें भरनारा हमें दैत्य तिमिरने हरनारा हमें वडोदराना विद्यापीठना सपना सारवनारा हमें ज्योत जलावी सृष्टिनावली सहसा सर्जनहारा श्री सयाजी विद्यापीठना ज्ञान दीपने धरनारा सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम मंत्र अनंत वर्णारो.
Have the honor of having with us Dr. Sachchidanand Joshi, Honorable Member Secretary, IGNCA in Delhi, Professor Dean, Faculty of Family and Community Sciences, President of Home Science Association of India, Dr. Shweta Prajapati, Director, Oriental Institute, and Dr. Ratan Parimu, an eminent art historian and scholar. May I request Dr. Rashwarya, Regional Director, IGNCA Legal Center, Boroda, to kindly escort our guests for the event. May I request our guests to please take their seats on the stage here. Thank you so much, ma'am. May I request
Welcome to all of you all here gathered today. Many familiar faces who have been with us all through our programs, and many new ones of learned scholars and Rasikas gurus. It is indeed a moment of great honor and gratitude for us here at IGNCA Regional Center Vadodara, because today our Honorable Member Secretary, Dr. Sachchidanand Joshi ji, is here amidst us. Sir needs no introduction. He is a very well-known scholar. He is a writer, a poet, an actor, and he has been steering the IGNCA through all the turbulences and through many projects, and the incomplete ones, completing new ones, taking up academically, wherein one sees the mastery of his knowledge on so many topics under the sun. So I am truly amazed. Thank you, sir, for being here amongst us today. I warmly welcome, on behalf of all of us, I welcome, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. Ratan Parimusa, a renowned art historian who is so senior, very senior but yet so humble at heart. He has always graced our programs with utmost sincerity and humbleness. Sir is there silently encouraging us, always welcoming. The doors of his home are open for all discussion, for all art lovers. Thank you, sir, for blessing us with your presence. I want to thank, and we have seen that she is a writer, she is a researcher with her book published, and taking us through the museum and being so excited about her institute here. I am meeting all of your students through her. It has been a wonderful pleasure. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome you. I want to welcome Dr. Shweta Prajapati ji, who is the director in charge of the Oriental Institute. Boroda is known first for the Oriental Institute. I don't think anybody in the world across would have not heard about the Oriental Institute and the work that has been going on there, preserving, promoting the manuscripts, the old books, the earliest editions of the Shastras are all there. The doors are open for us scholars. And ma'am is always welcoming us, helping us out. So are the other scholars there. Today we had a beautiful tour of the museum there, which has invaluable possessions. So I want to warmly welcome Shweta Prajapati ji. But of that huge institute here in Boroda, the regional center plays a small minuscule role. And we are so glad about that. At the Vadodara Regional Center, we aim to promote, protect and disseminate this region's art, culture, traditions, lifestyles, not only of this region but of the neighboring regions as well. And we aim to have such events which are academic, cultural, events which will help us to not only understand the vast traditions, rich traditions of our country, but will help us to preserve them and give it forth to the future generation. And I am sure our member secretary and all at the IGNCA Delhi head office has huge visions for us and will be encouraging the regional center. And with the support of such collaborators such as you all, we will be able to take this forth in a very new and futuristic light.
For the arts. So we are extremely privileged to have you with us today, and I would wish to thank our head, Dr. Madhu Sharan, also, who's unable to be with us today. But we had Sir visit our museum, and I think we are, as a department and as a faculty, we are extremely privileged, and I'm so glad that you could visit our department and see the work that we do. It's, these kind of collaborations that help us to be more visible, and so I think through these collaborations I really wish to thank Aishwarya, who came forward to, when she came and met me and said that she wanted to do this along with the Oriental Institute. Our department jumped at and we were extremely excited about this collaboration, and I'm glad it did work today, and we have finally come to this day where we have Sir here to deliver his talk on the manuscript treasure of India, repository of our heritage, which I think is extremely important, especially when it comes to our textiles as well. So I hope our students and all the other people who have come from various departments and universities, I'm sure it's going to be of great interest to all of us. So I'm extremely excited about also having icing on the cake, Dr. Ratan Parimusa over here with us, for being here in our department, in our faculty, thank you so much, sir, for being here with us today. It's really been a pleasure and an honor to have you with us. So thank you everyone for being here and having a full auditorium. I think that's going to be a great inspiration for sir to even give us more of a talk, which I've been hearing from all various sources. It's going to be the first time that I'm going to hear him. But the feedback that I have from so many people, that he's an extremely great orator and very, very interesting in his talk. So, sir, looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much, everyone.
A poet and an actor as well. He was the founder, Vice Chancellor of Kushabhau Thakre University of Journalism and Mass Communication, Raipur. He served as a Vice Chancellor for 2 terms, that's precisely 10 years. He was also the founder registrar of Makhanlal Chaturvedi National University of Journalism and Communication, Bhopal. He served as a dean academics in the Makhanlal Chaturvedi University of Journalism and Communication. He has written extensively on media, communication, history, culture, education, policy, and other relevant issues. He has been delivering lectures on communication, gender sensitization, research for resurgence, personality development, art and culture in prestigious institutions. Sir has also edited speeches of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi for publication division. He has edited many other prestigious publications too. He has been writing extensively. Some of his recent published works include Sachchidanand Joshi Ki Lokpriya Kahaniyan, that was out in 2017, Kuch Alp-Viram in 2018, Pal Bhar Ki Pehchan, that was last year 2019, which includes 2 poetry collections as well. The speeches have been compiled in 2 volumes titled Mera Desh, Mera Dharm. Without much delay, may I request Dr. Joshi to kindly begin with the lecture.
Most respected Professor Ratan Karimuji, Dean Professor Anjali Karoria, Director of Oriental Institute Dr. Shrita Prajapati, Regional Director of IGNCA Dr. Aishwarya Warrior, other distinguished deans, faculty members of this esteemed, prestigious university, and my dear friends, students, ladies and gentlemen. I am extremely happy to be here and share my thoughts on manuscripts treasure in India. Let me tell you very frankly, I am not an expert on manuscripts. I am a student like you who is trying to learn what manuscript is all about. For the last 3.5 years, ever since I have joined IGNCA, I have realized that this is an area which has been grossly neglected, and enough awareness has not been generated in the society by and large. I am talking this at Boroda and taking a great risk where Oriental Institute already exists. But charity begins at home. So if this is the house of manuscripts, we should start talking about manuscripts from this house only. And that is why I am here. And why I say this is because as a resource person, when I go to different institutions and universities or academic staff colleges where I am supposed to address the faculty, especially belonging to the stream of history and archaeology and museology, and when I talk to them about subjects like manuscriptology, paleography, iconography, even the teachers have blank faces. And I am surprised. They might have studied during their course of studies when they do MA and when they do PhD, but very few of them really opt out these professions when they come into the field of teaching and research. So if this is the state of teachers in our country, you can understand the status of the students in our country who are pursuing history and different streams of art. And that is why I thought that we should start creating awareness among the students. I know many of the stalwarts who are sitting in this auditorium, for them this would be a very preliminary kind of lecture. And they would discard me by saying, "अरे ये तो क्या, ये तो हर एक को मालूम है, इसमें बताने की कोई नई बात नहीं है." But I am happy that a larger section of this audience belongs to the younger generation, for whom this lecture is basically prepared. Because even if you must be knowing about manuscript, the awareness has to be created. When we say that India has a rich cultural heritage, we belong to a great heritage, and whatever is written or whatever we practice has some kind of a background, some kind of a knowledge, some kind of a Shastri tradition. Endorsing to that, we hardly know which tradition really endorses that, which is the text which really explains what we are doing, why we are doing. We say we were great in science, we say we were great in medicine, we were great in defense studies and strategies, but then we hardly know which are the texts which give us these knowledge. We hardly know who are the stalwarts who have written all those things. What is our lineage? When we say Vedic tradition, we should know how old is this Vedic tradition. When we say for instance, I don't know how many of you know the study of architecture. When the students study architecture in India, hardly anything is told about them related to Indian texts belonging to architecture. My son has studied architecture, and that is how I came to know that he was first lesson of his architecture class, he was told about French architecture, and he said that lineage came from French architecture. But we know that texts like Samarangan, Sutradhar and Vastu Mandana are already there, which explain thoroughly about not only architecture but town and country planning. How many of us know about that? And these things are already available with us. For defense, for even making strategies in warfare, we have texts which explain elaborately about the warfare, how defense strategies are being formed. But hardly any of us really know about that. And that is where the entire problem related to awareness lies. So don't think that this is a very highly techno-based lecture. This is a very general lecture only to create awareness about the manuscripts, our treasure, and of course, what efforts we are doing at the IGNCA, and especially the National Mission for the Manuscripts. Next, please. Next. Our Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji has started this Manuscripts mission in 2003. And he said that this should be the repository of scientific and intellectual property. Because we knew that we have so much of treasure already available with us that it needs to be preserved, needs to be thoroughly studied, needs to be explained, and needs to be taken to next generation. Please, next. This is the launch. And these are the objectives through which the National Manuscript Mission was established. So what do we mean by manuscript is generally the question what is the manuscript is all about. And when very interestingly when we say what is a manuscript as far as the technical term is concerned, we do not know that what is the technical term through which we understand about manuscript. So मेरे पिताजी ने एक चिट्ठी लिखी थी, वो भी एक मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट है क्या, ऐसा भी पूछते हैं. मेरे दादाजी ने चिट्ठी लिखी थी, वो भी एक मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट है क्या, ऐसा भी पूछते हैं. वो हो सकता है दादाजी ने अगर 75 साल पहले लिखा है, हाथ से लिखा है, तो मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट हो सकता है. तो we must understand what is the historicity of a document. Sometimes some very learned people even during the course of discussion say ये मेरा मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट है, 30 साल पहले मैंने हाथ से लिखा था. अरे तुम बहुत बड़े खलीफा नहीं हो गए मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट के. बहुत लोग 30 साल पहले नोट्स भी लिखते हैं, बहुत सारे अभी आप स्टूडेंट हैं, बहुत सारे प्रोफेसर लोग अपने स्टूडेंट के नोट्स भी अभी पढ़ते हैं, तो वो मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट है क्या? We need to understand what exactly manuscript means, and then these are the definitions. And then, very interestingly, throughout the India we have the treasure of manuscripts spread throughout length and breadth of the country. Everywhere we find different languages, different forms, different styles, and a vast plethora. And it's a very vast field where we see these kinds of manuscripts. Next. And this is very interesting. The figure is written is 12 million. This has been given by my office, but I beg to differ. Why? Because these 12 millions are from the known resources. But when I go to some places, even this afternoon when I was visiting the Oriental Institute, Madam Prajapati was telling, there are some villages who have, there are people who have 200, 300 manuscripts available with them. Barimu Sahab is sitting there. Last year we had an exhibition on Sarda Lipi, and from Kashmir itself, we had at least 30 people coming with their own manuscripts only for putting up them in a show. Then they took it back. We could not count them, how many of them are really there. It must be 2 crores, 20 million. It must be more than that. So when we say 12 million, that means these are the known resources through which we say that we have 12 million manuscripts available in India. And let me tell you, this is the biggest treasure in the entire world. Next. And this is the stunning fact which we do not know. The entire globe does not possess that many manuscripts which this subcontinent possesses. I would go a little further, and I am subject to corrections, that even the entire Europe does not have those many manuscripts which only India has. And the variety is immense. Even if manuscripts are available in Europe, they may be in 3 to 4 or to 5 scripts, but we have much more than that in India. And how many of us really know this fact? I don't know. I don't know about the students, how many of us really know this fact. This does not come on WhatsApp, unfortunately, in the morning. So this Gyan is not being circulated. We have all sorts of Brahma Gyan, but we do not have this kind of Gyan. That is the unfortunate thing. But this is the matter of pride. When we say Bharat is Vishwa Guru, why Bharat was Vishwa Guru? Bharat was Vishwa Guru because people were engaged in reading and writing. People were engaged in creating knowledge and intellectual property. That is why we were Bharat Vishwa Guru. इसलिए नहीं कि कोई किसी ने आपको पढ़ा दिया कि विश्व गुरु है. I was just going to your museum here and I was discussing with your faculty. Most of us, you must be knowing, there is a dress known as Barabandi. Okay? Only someone from the textile expert only told me what does mean by Barabandi. Barabandi means Baraband. So Baraband denote the intellectual caliber of a man. If a person has Baraband, that means he is the most vidwan person of the society. So एक बंद से लेकर 12 बंद तक शुरू होता है. इतना ज्यादा सोचा हमारे भारतीय संस्कृति ने, इतना माइन्यूट सोचा हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति ने. ऐसा नहीं कि एक बंद कम पड़ गया या 2 बंद टूट गया, नहीं, ये 12 बंद आपका इंटेलेक्चुअल कैलिबर का प्रतीक है. How many of you really know this fact? So we should understand these facts. And that deep our ancestors have thought about everything, every processing. So when we say this is the largest collection of manuscripts in the entire subcontinent, in the entire world, it's a stunning fact. हम बहुत सारी चीज के बारे में गर्व करते हैं, बहुत सारी गलत चीज के बारे में भी गर्व करते हैं, पर ये जो सही चीज है उसके बारे में जानकारी भी नहीं रखते. We do not even know about these things, please. And just see the themes of manuscripts. We have Shaivism, Vyakaran. Of course, we have manuscripts on Vyakaran, Shaivism, and other things, but also archaeology, history, architecture, and medicine, medicinal values. Ayurveda itself is a great contribution of manuscripts. And these are the scripts which you can know how many scripts have been given. Many of us would not even know about the importance of the scripts. By the way, today is Hindi Divas, Vishwa Hindi Divas. आपको कितने को मालूम है विश्व हिंदी दिवस है? अभी 4-5 हाथ खड़े हुए। हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा है, हिंदी दिवस है। पर आज सुबह एक और मजेदार बात भी जो मैं आपसे शेयर करना चाहता हूं, जो स्क्रिप्ट से रिलेटेड, बहुत मजेदार बात। भाषा के साथ स्क्रिप्ट का इंपॉर्टेंस है। भाषा के साथ स्क्रिप्ट का इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंस है क्योंकि भाषा संपूर्ण नहीं होगी अगर स्क्रिप्ट आप नहीं जाने। हम लोग हिंदी फटाफट बोलते हैं, पर दुर्भाग्य से इस यंत्र ने हम सबकी 12 बजा दी। हम में से कितने लोग हिंदी में हिंदी लिख सकते हैं? मैं फिर आपसे बोलता हूं, हम में से कितने लोग हिंदी में हिंदी लिख सकते हैं? हमारे जो जनरेशन के बच्चे हैं, मेरे भी बच्चे हैं आपके बराबर के, उसको हिंदी लिखने बोलो वो रोमन में हिंदी लिखता है। अभी गूगल भी आपको ये इस बात के लिए इजाजत दे देता है कि आप अंग्रेजी में टाइप करो, वो हिंदी में आ जाता है। इसलिए इस बार कई बार उसका अर्थ का अनर्थ भी हो जाता है, जादू का झाड़ू भी हो जाता है। और पंक्चुएशंस तो हम सब खाई गए। पंक्चुएशंस को तो कॉमा फुल स्टॉप के लिए तो कोई जगह ही नहीं बची है। तो भाषा के जो नुआंसेस हैं, स्क्रिप्ट के जो नुआंसेस हैं, अनलेस वी अंडरस्टैंड। अभी ये फिल्म कलाकारों का बड़ा बोलबाला है। बहुत सारे फिल्म कलाकार हिंदी की खाते हैं पर अंग्रेजी में बोलते हैं। जब फिल्म अवार्ड सेरेमनी होता है तो दे स्पीक इन इंग्लिश। क्यों बोलते हैं भाई हिंदी का सिनेमा? क्योंकि वो हिंदी में पढ़ नहीं सकते ना, उनको डायलॉग भी अंग्रेजी में लिख के देते हैं जब वो हिंदी में पढ़ते हैं। ये हमारा स्क्रिप्ट का इंपॉर्टेंस, आप सोचिए इस बात। तो दिस इज अ स्टनिंग फैक्ट। अभी सिर्फ बच्चों के लिए कॉमा का इंपॉर्टेंस बता देता हूं। एक अखबार में न्यूज आया है, गिरफ्तार किए गए सारे कैदियों को जेल में बंद रखा गया। ठीक है, गिरफ्तार किए गए सारे कैदियों को जेल में बंद रखा गया। कोई हमारे जैसा विद्वान था जिसको कॉमा का मतलब नहीं समझता था, उसने कॉमा गलत जगह लगा दिया तो हो गया गिरफ्तार किए गए सारे कैदियों को बंदर खा गया। ठीक, वही शब्द है, वही शब्द है, वही वाक्य प्रयोग है। मैंने सिर्फ कॉमा इधर का इधर कर दिया। तो आप समझिए कॉमा का कितना इंपॉर्टेंस है। और इंडिया वाज सच अ ग्रेट कंट्री, इट हैड स्क्रिप्ट, सो मैनी स्क्रिप्ट्स। आज हमको कितने लोगों को इन स्क्रिप्ट्स के नाम मालूम है? हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस रियली नो अबाउट दीज स्क्रिप्ट्स? And so much of knowledge has been generated in all these scripts. We do not understand, we do not know. Please, next. These are few largest repositories, and of course the Oriental Research Institute also is having the name. Although I am told that you have 33,000, they list it as 28,000, something like that. So these are all important repositories which have great wealth of knowledge. By the way, how many of we have visited the Oriental Institute, younger generation? तो अभी आप जाके ना younger generation, I mean people who feel themselves young can always raise the hands. I don't have any issues. बड़ौदा में हमारे घर में किसी दिन शाम को कोई चाट पकौड़ी खाने के बजाय एक बार उधर जाके देखना। So much of wealth, so much of knowledge. I was amazed to see a 28 feet long manuscript, handwritten, golden, उससे लिखा गया। आज ही देखा मैंने, I was surprised. 258, चलो बहुत अच्छा है। 258 feet long, 28 feet बोल रहा था मैं तो बहुत ही ज्ञानी हूँ। 258 feet, Can you imagine that? हमारे अपने शहर में इतना बड़ा ट्रेजर है and we are not aware about that. और ये ट्रेजर किसका ट्रेजर है? ये सारे हमारे ancestors which they have collected knowledge through ages that has been kept for us to understand, for us to learn, for us to know, but we are not aware of that. Please, next. And just see how beautifully they have done it. This is a Odisha State Museum, Geet Govinda manuscript in a shape of garland. Is it visible to everybody? It's like, next. These are a few examples of beautiful manuscripts which our division has brought. Next, please. This is a Geet Govinda manuscript on bamboo leaf. Next. This is Chitra Bhagwat. Chitra Bhagwat के कई जगह में मिल जाते हैं and there are variations of Chitra Bhagwat. आगे करते हैं. This is Ramayana Valmiki translated by Samarthani. This is in Persian listening. You must see this. फारसी लैंग्वेज में लिखा हुआ है महाभारत. Next. This is again Geet Govinda, palm leaf in fish forms. Please. Next. 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 These are only to see what kind of variety our people had. अभी आपको पेन एंड पेपर बोलो तो एक ही पेपर और एक ही पेन समझ में आता है ना? अभी आप देखिए उस जमाने में so much of variety. They did not have pen and paper. They did not have laptop. They did not have mouse. But still they have immense creativity to create this wealth. Next. Next. This is Arabic manuscript, Bhagavad Gita. Next. Next. This is very interesting. Just see the size and shape of the manuscript and how beautifully they have written this. Next. These are the Gilgit manuscripts. Yeah, next. So what IGNCA and National Manuscript Mission is doing, we are creating centers for manuscripts, resource centers and manuscripts conservation centers throughout the country. We are requesting the institutions or the persons who have the repository of manuscripts, who have the collection of manuscripts which have not been catered properly so far or documented so far or digitized so far. We are extending support, we are helping them out in not only digitizing but also conserving these manuscripts. Unfortunately, most of us, what happens is as you gain more knowledge, you become more tougher, more foolish. हमारा ट्रेडिशनल वे था नॉलेज का, मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट रखने का was a very perfect method of keeping those manuscripts. Scientific advancement हुआ, so we started doing more and more things, and by that we started using chemicals, we started using other external things and started destroying those manuscripts. So we are trying to help them out in preserving those manuscripts in the most natural way so that we can preserve them longer with less damage done to the person who is conserving the manuscript. That is also very important. अभी मैं बार-बार बोलता हूँ कि टेक्नोलॉजी से हम अपनी क्रिएटिविटी को कैसे सरेंडर करते हैं. तो again I will give the biggest example is our mobile phones. People of my age is 56, but people of my age used to remember 200 to 300 telephone numbers at a time. My mother used to remember, she still remembers at least 100 telephone numbers at a time. आप में से कितने लोग 10 नंबर भी याद रख सकते हैं? क्योंकि सब तो मोबाइल में स्टोर्ड है, मिल ही जाएगा, सर्च मारेंगे तो, और मोबाइल गुम जाए तो क्या होता है? बीमार जैसी हालत हो जाती है. We have surrendered our creativity, we have surrendered our intellect to the technological advancement. हमारे पास हमारा hidden intellect था, हमारे पास अपना original intellect है, हमारी original creativity है, but we are surrendering. अभी भी किसी से बोलो कि इसको लिख लो तो he or she will not write it on a pen and paper. Immediately मोबाइल निकालेगा, उसी में नहीं तो भी टेक्स्ट मार देंगे. पेन एंड पेपर में लिखने में क्रिएटिविटी है ना, एफर्ट है. मोबाइल में लिखने में नहीं, क्योंकि मैं पेन एंड पेपर में लिखूंगा फिर कहूंगा इसको टाइप करो और किसी को भेजो। मोबाइल में इजी है, मैंने व्हाट्सएप पे टाइप किया, टक से भेज दिया, कोई रिकॉर्ड की जरूरत नहीं है, ना मेरे दिमाग में घुसा ना तेरे दिमाग में घुसा, भगवान का भला हो जाए। So when we talk about this, I am also talking about the biggest conservation centers which we are establishing in different institutions. Oriental institution has that center, and it is throughout across the length and breadth. We are supporting them somehow to preserve these manuscripts. And this is a map which is useless. So what is the opportunity? When we realize that there is a dearth of manpower in understanding the manuscripts, we started a course in manuscriptology and paleography. Why we started this course? Because we realized that most of the students who are, even those who have done their masters in archaeology or history or museology, are not aware of hands-on experience on manuscriptology. So we need to train them. So we have started one-year postgraduate diploma in manuscriptology and paleography. And let me tell you very frankly, it may not be a glamorous job. It will not allow you to do some kind of a fashion parade. All right, you will not come on page 3. But by doing this kind of work, you would be remembered on the pages of the history. And that is the most important thing. Page 3 to 8. But if you do this kind of a job, you would be remembered forever that somebody has created these manuscripts, somebody has preserved these manuscripts, somebody has worked on these manuscripts. And what made us to think about that, but when we did a course in Brahmi Lipi, because many texts are written in Brahmi Lipi, when we announced the course on Brahmi Lipi, we got fantastic response and we got 60 applications to do a 10 days course in Brahmi Lipi. And the age group for doing that was from 25 to 75. An elderly person of the age of 75 was also willing to come and learn Brahmi Lipi because he said that I possess a script in Brahmi and I would like to read it myself. See that kind of passion. So after doing that 10 days program, we also realized that there are some potential bright young students who would like to take it further, who would like to take this as a career opportunity, who would like to take this as a lifetime opportunity to do something good for the society and heritage preservation. So then we did an advanced course for students between the age group of say 25 to 40 and who have shown keen interest, and gave them an advanced course for 15 days. And what was the result of that 15 days? After that 15-day workshop, we could bring out some deciphered edition of 3 manuscripts, small manuscripts written in Brahmi Lipi. So in a way it was two-way exercise. We were also benefited and the students were also benefited. And then we thought that we should start some courses. Then we did a workshop on Modi and Tiglari Lipi in Bangalore. I was told by Madam Prajapati this afternoon also that there are many records available in Gujarat. It deals about trade, it deals about revenue records. I was told an interesting incident that in the state of Maharashtra, where Modi Lipi has the most of the old revenue record documents, they give to the tune of 3,000 rupees for reading one page in Modi Lipi to the expert. Why? Because that is a precious document. It is not reading one paper. It is the history of say 250 acres of land. Who knows? Who owns this? So these are important things. So we must know. I am told that in the palace also you have so many records, wrote so many books, so many things written in Gujarati Modi. But how many of us really know how to read Gujarati Modi Lipi? So we need to have the workshops, we need to conduct the training programs, we need to train my youngsters, we need to train the next generation. Because people who used to read these lipis are now getting old. Somebody is 80, somebody is 85. We pray for their good health and they should continue with us for a longer duration. But we have to generate, we have to have the younger generation to come forward. So these are these things, and then paleography is the ancient writing system which deciphering and dating of the historical dating is also important. Shilaleख बोलते हैं, Shilalekhs. So we are unable to know about the Shilalekhs. लिखा है, लिखा होगा, कुछ तो भी लिखा होगा. Sometimes even we do not care. एक heritage conservation and heritage management is a very big problem in India. Very big problem. आज से 1000 साल पहले किसी ने उस शिलालेख पे कुछ लिखा है, कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट है, हम जाके क्या करते हैं? रमेश दिल बना के मीना. This is my contribution to history. It's pathetic. अरे आपको पढ़ना नहीं आता तो मत पढ़ो, खराब तो मत करो. अभी रमेश और मीना यहाँ आए थे, ये कोई ऐतिहासिक तथ्य नहीं है. वो रोज आते हैं, उनको कॉलेज बंक करके इधर ही आना पड़ता है, वो रोज आते हैं. But you are destroying a historical fact. We do not understand. So we need to know that these are important documents of history. Paleography teaches all this. Unless we know, when I went to Cambodia, I saw a Shilaleख which tells you कि भारत से कौंडिन्य आए और कंबोडिया में पहली बार कौंडिन्य आकर भारत से जो धर्म का प्रचार या भारत की जो आख्यायिका है वो वहां पर पहली बार आ गई. That is how you know what is my relation with Cambodia. अगर वो शिलालेख ही नहीं होता तो हमको कैसे मालूम पड़ता कि कंबोडिया हम कैसे गए. So we should understand. और ये सब नॉलेज देने के लिए पैलियोग्राफी है, मैन्युस्क्रिप्टोलॉजी है. हम में से बहुत लोग इस सब्जेक्ट के बारे में ही नहीं जानते, नाम ही नहीं जानते. आइकोनोग्राफी में बोलूंगा तो हम में से बहुत लोग आइकोनोग्राफी के बारे में नहीं जानते. So we have to think on these terms. Please next. And these are the photograph of some awareness program. Next, please. And these are the workshops which we have conducted by IGNCA, by National Manuscripts Mission. And I would request, even though you are not a student of history, even though you are not a student of archaeology, even though you are not a student of museology, but there is no harm in going to such workshop and studying and understanding. Like most of the students must be belonging to the textile faculty here. But through these kind of workshops, we also understand how to conserve a textile, how to retrieve textile which is in a bad shape, how to prevent it from further deterioration, and how to read what is written on those things. Don't you think this is important for us to understand? Please. Please. And what are the challenges in conservation of these manuscripts? We must also understand. As I said in my earlier remarks, that most of these manuscripts still are available in the private possession. That is why when I told you that when I give you the figure of 12 million, it is through known resources. But there are much more available in the unknown resources belonging to the people which are available in their private possession and which they don't want to share. That is the unfortunate part. They would like to keep it with us. हमारे दादाजी ने हमको दिया था, अभी हम हमारे पोते को देके जाएंगे. But we will not let you know इसमें है क्या. एक साहब ने मुझे ऐसी मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट बताई जिसके चारों तरफ सोने के तार से वो किया हुआ रखा है और इतनी प्रेशियस मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट है. अभी क्या होगा? उन्होंने तो लोहे के बक्से में बंद करके रख दिया है क्योंकि उनका घर छोटा है. लोहे के बक्से में वो मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट बंद है. किसी दिन जिस दिन उनको आर्थिक विपन्नता आ जाएगी, उसी सोने का तार निकाल के वो उसको बेच देंगे. They will not realize कि मेरे लिए सोने का तार इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, मेरे लिए वो जो टेक्स्ट लिखा है वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, पर उनके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. I have seen manuscripts being kept in a wooden almirah जिसमें टर्माइट लग गया है. I have seen manuscripts kept in a room which is full of dampness, full of moisture, And even those manuscripts which are wrapped in a clothes, kapda phat gaya hai, lot of rats are wandering around, घूम रहे हैं चूहे, and these manuscripts are kept. I go there, request them, साहब जैसा है आपको लौटा देंगे, please give it to us so that we can conserve, we can digitize and we can give it back, but they are not ready to give it back. So awareness has to be generated that the manuscript which you possess is not only your property, but it is also national property. Until and unless we create this awareness that manuscript is a national property, like a monument. For monument, preserving monument, there is a National Monument Authority, which declares that this monument is a national monument, and then it cannot be disturbed. मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट छोटा दिखता है ना, कागज है, तो वो लोगों को लगता है ये कोई इम्पोर्टेंट चीज थोड़ी है कि इसको नेशनल प्रॉपर्टी डिक्लेयर किया जाए, बट फॉर अस दिस इज अ नेशनल प्रॉपर्टी. Another thing is that most of the people or most of the institutions who have the manuscript do not have the resources to decipher what is written in those manuscripts. Like, I have the manuscript, I have digitized and I have documented it properly. But not, what next? If I am not giving it to someone for doing a deeper study into it, for deciphering the manuscript, there is no knowledge in just keeping it like this. Until recently, even National Manuscript Mission did not have the facility to reach out to people. But now we have tried and we have made our website so user friendly that now you can access to the manuscript. And if you want, you can have the copy of the manuscript for your studies. Finally, what you will do, you will also make use and make it available for the next generation. That is the benefit of the society. So we must understand that, please. This related to modern knowledge which I have referred to. So because of this modern knowledge, I have totally neglected my traditional knowledge, and through that traditional knowledge, whatever I was supposed to get, I am not getting. So this is also an unfortunate part. Again, right, I do not know, again I am subject to correction and subject to debate, but we have like manuscripts on Ayurveda, we have manuscripts on relative medicinal theories also, we have manuscripts on defense. Also I learned that we have manuscripts related to Vimana Shastra. And somebody says that we do not know how to fly. But we have a manuscript known as Vimana Shastra. IGNCA is working on a manuscript known as Netra Prakasha. Netra Prakasha deals with ophthalmology. And it tells you the things related to ophthalmology which is now being practiced by the modern ophthalmologists. So suppose if 1000-year-old manuscript is telling you about the ophthalmology, why can't we know and study about these things? But the major obstacle is that we do not open our mind, we do not open our gates. We have become more and more closed door society. Whatever is my knowledge. It's like the Tagore's poem, when it says narrow domestic walls. In Gitanjali there is a word, narrow domestic walls. As an academician, when I look at it, I always say that the compartmentalization of education is the term which Tagore has tried to explain. We have created narrow domestic walls. मैं टेक्सटाइल पढ़ूंगा तो मैं सिर्फ टेक्सटाइल पढ़ूंगा, मैं वेद पढ़ूंगा तो मैं सिर्फ वेद पढ़ूंगा, मैं सिर्फ आयुर्वेद पढ़ूंगा तो मैं सिर्फ आयुर्वेद पढ़ूंगा, मैं मैथ्स पढ़ूंगा तो मैं सिर्फ मैथ्स पढ़ूंगा, साइंस भी नहीं पढ़ूंगा. हमने इतना टाइट कंपार्टमेंट कर लिया. And the respected faculty members would kindly excuse me for that. We are responsible for compartmentalization. हम जाने नहीं देते बच्चे को दूसरी स्ट्रीम में. हमारे अंदर का कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन हो गया. फिजिक्स का टीचर जो है वो सोशियोलॉजी में जाके कभी नहीं बैठेगा. इकोनॉमिक्स का टीचर कभी जाकर केमिस्ट्री के पास नहीं बैठेंगे। हमारा आर्ट फैकल्टी, हमारा साइंस फैकल्टी, अरे बिल्डिंग अलग हो गया, नॉलेज तो एक ही है ना। So these walls which we have created is damaging the basic essence of our knowledge. And we have to rebuild the basic philosophy of knowledge. हमारे ancestors ने कभी नहीं सोचा, हमारी गुरुकुल परंपरा में कभी नहीं था कि ये स्ट्रीम होगा, यहाँ से जाएगा, वहाँ से, जो विद्यार्थी को पढ़ना है पढ़ेगा, जिसमें वो निष्णात होना चाहता है, जिसमें उसका एक्सीलेंस होना चाहता है, उसको होगा। So we have to overcome these things. And this is how the manuscripts are being done. This is the Saraswati Library, Bhadrak, Odisha, where people are doing the next. And this is how they are kept. Before conservation, you can see the state of affairs here. This is how the manuscripts are kept. And after conservation, after doing some exercise which we do, these are kept in these styles. They are put in racks. And this is only preventive conservation. We have not done much on these manuscripts, only tried to rearrange whatever was available, not applied anything, please. Again, this afternoon when I was doing, one girl was doing like this. This is before conservation and this is after conservation. And the best conservation is to do minimum damage to the original things. Minimum damage to the original things. And next please. And these are all digitization process. We have heavy scanners through which we digitize. We have small scanners also. And then we digitize. Next please. And these are all related to what all we publish through National Manuscript Mission is available, which you can always pick up from the website. Thanks. Next. So these are all things which you can always take from the website. What I would like to suggest is that even, and this is the case not only in India, let me tell you very frankly, when we talk about Indian culture and Indian heritage, it does not limit to India, but it extends to the whole of Asian subcontinent. Like Thailand, the erstwhile capital of Thailand was Chiang Mai. So Chiang Mai has the manuscript, and the lipi is very much similar to the lipi Brahmi. So now we are making an effort to have a kind of a collaboration with the university at Chiang Mai to digitize those manuscripts which are available in that script and try to decipher. We have already requested a few experts who are well versed in Brahmi to try and decipher those manuscripts which are available in Chiang Mai. Similarly in Vietnam, similarly in Indonesia and Laos, there are plenty of manuscripts available which tells about the Indian culture. So it's not only the diaspora which extends to migration of population, but we have rich treasure in these countries also. So we must also understand that not only in India, we have to take care of these manuscripts throughout the world. A lot of Persian manuscripts which shows you the India's cultural relations with Iran, with Afghanistan. There are so many things available. But unfortunately, until now we have been neglecting this area. Please. Just next. I think that is what I wanted to tell you, and I just wanted to make you aware. I think that is all. Okay. Thank you. So, one last word I would like to tell you, that it is not a very technical subject to know what manuscripts are and how they can be preserved and how they can be digitized. Technical thing comes when we come on deciphering the manuscript. So we need manpower to conserve, to digitize, to keep them at place and to decipher this manuscript. A lot of young people are here, boys and girls. I know we are day by day becoming glamour-struck society. Everybody wants to see his or her face on Facebook. And how many likes depend how popular you are. But my friends, this is a matter of great concern. This may not give you likes right now, but think about future. And if you want to tell your children that you had rich cultural heritage and you have rich cultural lineage, you also would be required to show them substantial proof of them. And the substantial proof lies in the treasure of manuscript which India possesses. But the situation is very alarming. We need to wake up. This is not something which would create a national wave, or you need to do demonstrations on somewhere. But this is something which you need to internalize, which you need to think, which you need to realize that as real thinkers, as real scholars, real intellectual property of this country, the treasure is in your hands. And the way you possess, that would decide how you write future of your country. Thank you very much.
Respected Dr. Sachchidanand Joshi, Professor Ajay Karulia, Professor Tattvabodha, Madam Aishwarya, she is really warrior, and Professor Kanda, Professor Adya, my colleagues from Oriental Institute, and dear students from this faculty. I am very happy today, especially for this collaboration. When I was reading a book written by Professor Ajay Karulia in her room, I really wondered and I come to know many things that are common with manuscriptology and the textile department. Because many manuscripts are written on cloth. We have certain scrolls, they are written on cloth. They are either cotton or silk cloth. And we have many chitrapatas also, like some of the Jain chitrapatas we have, because we have a good number of Jain manuscripts, and many of them are the illustrated Jain chitrapatas. So all these manuscripts, always we wonder, my colleague is there, Dr. Sharmila Bachi, my another colleague, Dr. Usha Brahmachari. When we work on these manuscripts, we always wonder how to preserve these manuscripts written on cloth. Because we have the knowledge like how to preserve the manuscripts written on paper and the palm leaf, but the cloth is always very challenging. And then we wondered that the book written by Professor Ajay Karulia has answers to these questions. That she has focused on, what is the history of weaving of the cloth and the history of manufacturing of ink, dye, and how those paintings means they are painted on the cloth. So all these things were certainly going to, the correlate with our manuscripts written on cloth. And I hope that in future we would like to take your help to know more about the scrolls written on cloth. I was a student I was doing my MA and then PhD, and when I joined this institute, it was totally blank about the manuscripts. I didn't know anything about the manuscript, but then I was appointed in the institute and I had to work on manuscripts. Then what I will do in this institute? Generally people go to the teaching institutes. But then I am very much thankful to the Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts and National Mission for Manuscripts that they organized such a wonderful workshops on manuscriptology and paleography. I attended 2 workshops, one is basic and one is advanced, and I got all the knowledge from these 2 workshops, and because of these I am able to work now in this prestigious institute that is Oriental Institute. And Dr. Sachchidanand Joshi, he spoke, many important aspects about the manuscript studies. Particularly when he talked about the challenges. Really, we, my colleagues also agree that what kind of challenges we face in the preservation of the manuscripts. How manuscripts come to us in such a critical condition, and we have to preserve them with our traditional method as well as the modern scientific method. And we are thankful to the National Mission for Manuscript that they have given us the Manuscript Conservation Center, and now we are able to preserve the manuscripts. Another thing that Dr. Joshi talked about the history and culture of our country, that how these manuscripts, they are really the sources of our history. And if you know, if you have read the Times of India and the other newspapers in just 2 months back, then you know that the Ayodhya Mahatma decision, the Ram Janmabhoomi, the temple's decision was based on the Ayodhya Mahatma manuscript of our Oriental Institute. So these manuscripts are not just an object to preserve in the institute, but they are the real source of our knowledge. And Dr. Joshi very rightly emphasized on the digitization of manuscripts and the publications, and he also talked about the Kruti Raksha. So these are the very, the prime areas in which the IGNCA works, and when this collaboration has today taken place, then I would like to request Professor Anjali Karuya that please arrange one visit of your students to Oriental Institute, because many of your students, they don't know about the institute. For the students, but even the teachers of our university, they don't know about the Oriental Institute. So please bring your students and let them know, let them see that how the manuscripts are written on the cloth. Thank you very much.
You can give the vote of thanks. And after the vote of thanks, I would request everybody to please play back for the national anthem, and that's how we conclude the event today.
I would like to thank our Honorable Member Secretary Dr. Sachchidanand Joshi sir for being here with us today and sharing not just about the manuscripts, but beginning from the talk on manuscripts, how sir went on the larger view that we all must understand that how important it is for us to preserve and respect what is ours, what is our tradition. I think that is what has come across, starting from manuscripts. And if you all look around, there are many such things which we have grown up with, which our grandmothers have shown, our mothers have shown, and we have to protect, preserve and respect that. That is our tradition. So thank you sir for that eye-opener, and in such a simple way, with beautiful little anecdotes he has explained, gauging the diverse nature of the audience. So, as ma'am rightly said, an exemplary orator indeed. We are blessed to be able to sit on that side and listen to you today. Thank you, sir. I want to thank IGNCA New Delhi and the National Mission of Manuscripts for this event that we have put forth here. I want to thank the Oriental Institute. I would like to thank the Faculty of Family and Community Sciences and the Department of Clothing for jointly collaborating with us with the Regional Center Boroda. And it is only because of these four energies coming together that today we could spread this lesser known aspect of Indian culture. So thank you so much. I want to thank all of you learned audience who have taken time out and blessed us here with your presence, and all the young ones, the future of India tomorrow, and our guests. Thank you, because it is any program, event, discourse is two-way. So it is this energy that we have received from you, which has been transmitted, and we look forward for all your future support. We have a small book outside. Whoever possible, please drop a few comments, and I think we have already taken all of your contact details. We will be in touch with you on all our future projects and events. So thank you so much, and thank you to all the technical staff, the volunteers of the school for supporting us to make this event happen in a super smooth way. Thank you.
सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय